There we go. Hey, what's everybody? It's Carrie coming at you again, and we're just super glad to be able to share and connect with you on everything we've got going on. We are in session number 2 with our social media mastery, featuring the most amazing, most audacious, most beautiful, gorgeous 2 ladies in the entire world, Miss Stephanie Pennington and Ashley Riddle. And so we're going to get set up here and get going. I will be watching the chat, so if you have questions, pop them in there. Do your best to keep yourselves muted, and then that way we can have some fun. All right. You guys ready to go?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. So let Stephanie start out.
I'm gonna put this right here.
Can see us all?
Yep, perfectly framed. Look at that, head of the table.
Hey everybody, I'm gonna say hey everybody instead of y'all. I'm Stephanie from the Oregon coast, and I've been drinking ketones and improvement for 4 years.
And I'm Ashley Riddle, and I'm from Kingwood, Texas, and I've been drinking ketones for a little over 3.5 years.
Hi, Ashley.
Hi.
So we're just gonna jump right in and go over some different tips and tricks that we have done on social media. And yeah, Ashley's gonna go over the grid.
Yes. And actually, this is one of my promoters' grids. She's sitting here. It's Melissa Butler. And right here, if you don't know her. So what we're going to do first is grab a piece of paper. And this is really important that everybody does this, because we're going to use it going forward in the training and for the rest of your Prove It life, because you're going to add to it as well. So make a little cross, okay? And then you'll end up with 4 boxes. All right? So the first box is going to be, what do you love? Then the second box is going to be hobbies and interests. And then the box on the bottom is going to be knowledge and experience. And then the next box, which is the last one, is dreams. Okay. And you're going to just do your best to fill this out as much as you can within like 2 minutes. And you can always add to the list, but I'm going to read Melissa's off to you. Thank you, Melissa.
Do you want us to fill it out now?
Here, I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
So Melissa's, this is an example. So for what does she love? She loves Jesus, her family, her kids, and Doodles, which is a dog. Okay. Her hobbies and interests are reading, outdoors, cooking low carb, and gardening. Her knowledge and experience is she's a mom, mental health, education, homeschooling, and wellness. And her dreams are to be debt-free, RV around the U.S., real estate, investing, and travel. Okay? So we're going to take 2 minutes, and Stephanie's going to time you. Fill in as much as you can, and let's do it. And Melissa's already got hers done.
I'm recording. Yeah.
And when you're finished, just kind of look at it.
Yes, teacher.
This is so not my side to be bossy. I'm really working on it.
She's being pretty bossy.
I'm really very bossy.
You're not confused. That's going on.
Yeah. No questions.
All right, we're 2 minutes. Time's up. All right, so now we're going to all take our phones and pull up Facebook. Okay. right, go to the search bar on Facebook, which is that little magnifying glass at the top, okay? Now, can I use you as an example, ma'am? Thank you. All right, so Shay's, oh, this is good, okay. So hers is, let's say the beach. Her hobbies and interests are, one of them is the beach, okay? So what Shay's gonna do is she's gonna go to the little magnifying glass at the top and she's going to type in beach groups, okay? So let's say that your interest is cats. So you would type in.
Do I look like a cat lady?
I
I look just like a cat lady.
So mine's punk, so.
Yeah. Here, I'll use it myself. So I really love books,
I do
okay?
like cats. But...
So I'm gonna type in here, book groups.
Oh my God, I love it.
Book club groups.
This person pops up, I'm
Yeah.
already a member.
Oh,
I
cool.
didn't even know that.
So what you're gonna do when those groups pop up, you're gonna hit join, okay? Okay. And so for me personally, and you can do this for each category, you know, you don't have to do it all today or whatever, but like tomorrow, Shay's also interested in low carb. She's a dog mom. She likes to travel. She wants a life partner. She can search those types of things. Maybe not your life partner, one,
Yeah.
but the rest of them,
Nice one.
okay? And then she can join those groups. So me, for example, I like books, okay? So I'm going to be in this book club group. And I'm going to do a post in the book club group. And I'm going to say, hey guys, what are you reading? I just finished Nicholas Sparks' The Notebook. You know, has anyone read it? Tell me your favorites. So those people are going to all start to comment and tell me their favorites. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to interact in the comments with each of them, okay? So let's say that you like this book called The Best of Me. I'm going to be like, oh my gosh, girl, that's been on my list for years. I love that. Or, oh my gosh, girl, I haven't read that one yet. You know, I can't wait to read it. Thanks for the recommendation. Then I'm going to go to my own personal wall and I'm going to type the same thing that I typed in the group, okay?
The same question.
The same question on your wall that you typed in the group, okay? So the reason that you're going to do that is because all of the people that interacted with you on your post in the book club group, you're going to send them a friend request, okay? If you had 40 people interact with you, don't send 40 friend requests at once. You probably don't want to send more than like 15 at a time. So Facebook doesn't like lock you out or whatever, okay? And what's going to happen is they will see that post on your wall and they'll say, oh my gosh, that's Sherry from the book club group, you know, oh, I'm going to accept her as a friend. And so you're building rapport with them, okay? So that is that. And then now, Stephanie, you can talk about friends.
Okay. So I'll just do this one super quick. So friends of friends. So basically go to your social media and you're gonna pull up your friends list and go to their friends list if it's open. Some of them have it blocked. Go to their friends list and also you're going to comment on their friends' posts. You're gonna interact with them. That way you are having more friends. You're just building more of a network. And so when you start interacting with those people, sometimes they'll friend you, sometimes you friend them. And then when you friend them, obviously friend them, you just have the relationship and then they can follow you that way. So go to your friends of friends, and comment on their posts and interact that way. So that's a good way to, grow your network, build more relationships that way too. Which brings us into the next one, being out in public. Right now, it's been a little bit more challenging, but I'll just kind of give you a scenario of what I've been doing the past 6 months to a year that's really worked. I live on the Oregon coast. And so I made sure that I'm intentional about going for a walk on the beach every day. And people from all over the world travel there. And so what I do is I'm always looking at them or looking and interacting and having friends or whatever. A lot of times I'll walk up and we'll say, hey, where are you from? And then they'll say, hey, where are you from? And I'm like, I just live right over the hill. And then we just kind of chat and what are they doing there and that kind of stuff. And I'm always like, hey, you're on Facebook, right? I don't make it weird about just asking weird questions or making it awkward. I just assume they're on Facebook. You're on Facebook, right? Let's connect so we can stay connected and, just continue, chatting. And so then we do, and then I always just say, hey, let's get a Facebook or let's get a selfie. And I have only had a couple of people like, that's kind of weird. But some people were saying that's weird, but that's cool. And so I'll always get a selfie with them, if they allow it now. But before it was a little bit easier. And so then I'll message them that picture of us, saying, hey, it was so great to meet you and whatever, wherever I'm at. I've had it in janitors in the bathroom when I post like I was in Vegas and I put that on there washing my hands. And they're like, what is that? Is that Herbalife? I'm like, oh no, it's way better. And so we kind of chatted about it and I said, hey, let's get a picture. And so what I do is I message them that, but also I will make once we're friends on Facebook, I'll make a post with that picture. Say, hey, today was great. Did a great walk on the beach. I got to meet a new friend, Ashley from Texas, and I'll tag her. So then they'll, it gets out that way with their network. Oh, that's pretty cool. Just more interaction that way. And then when people, of course, comment on those, you want to follow up that way too.
The next thing that you can do is each week, go down your friends list and follow a minimum of 5 to 10 people for that week and comment on their posts and interact with them. If you want to do more than 10, you can, but do at least 5 to 10 minimum. And so what's going to happen is the more interaction that you have with those people, then they're going to start seeing your private posts, because Facebook's like, oh, they're friends. Basically, the best way to think about social media is just how you would think of having a relationship in like real life. Okay. So if I walk up to Shay and I'm like, don't say anything. I love your hat. Isn't this awkward? We're fond, right? Okay. So have you ever done this? You go comment on someone's post and you're like, oh my gosh, beautiful picture. You look so good, girl. Where'd you go? They don't say anything, right? How does that make you feel? Or do you care? I guess it depends on your personality color. But me, I'm like,
I'm like,
they didn't respond.
Deleted.
She doesn't care. I'm going on.
You know what I mean?
I'm moving on.
Yeah. And Stephanie's like, I'll forget them. I'm taking them off my list. But anyway,
So it's basically just like in real life, So no, respond to me, okay? Oh my gosh, I love your hat, girl.
I flew all the way to Colorado to get this for free.
Oh, it's awesome.
What am I doing in Colorado?
You want to go shopping together sometime for hats? So see, we're having a conversation. So Facebook's going to be like, oh my gosh, Ashley and Shay love each other. They want to go hat shopping together, all that good stuff. Okay? So there you go.
when there was a point where I thought that there was a suggestion of like having, like, just go on your friends and follow all these people, but then that is what happens, like, you're just seeing certain things and you're like, people aren't seeing things, you're not seeing things for days later. So you can go and not unfriend them, but unfollow all of them, so that would help with that algorithm. Would that be correct?
Actually, you just got to our next topic. Woo! So that's what it is you can don't unfriend private people. Okay, so a lot of people, whenever they join a company, there's the temptation to like go friend everyone.
Yeah.
I did the same thing. Like I sent Nick a friend request. He didn't accept me for 3 years.
I know.
He's saying because he's a smart man. You know why? Because I'm taking up space on his friends list. You can only have 5,000 people. So Nick's like, Ashley, you were already by ketones. I don't need you on my friends list.
Yeah.
But I'm
We're
gonna follow
friends.
you and do
You know what I
you
mean?
do.
Yeah.
So it's not, you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but just unfollow your private people. Don't unfriend them. But that keeps everyone else that needs to see and learn about ketones in your newsfeed. Okay? All right.
One quick analogy, if I may. You're talking about like how kind of social media works. Think about it like if you've ever gone to, we're talking about algorithms and posting and everything. If you've ever gone to church or like a networking event or something, right? Especially when the crowd is moving or somewhere you have to be stationary. Like you're there with, let's say you're at a concert, you're there with 30,000 people, but you're sitting next to two, right? Or if you're in a crowd moving around at a music festival or at a networking event, there's 1,000 people in that room, but there's still only the 2 or 3 that are immediately around you. And so social media does that too. Like, okay, well, we think that these people are going to get along the best right now based off of who they are, how they're liking everything and what's going on. So we're going to make this conversation a thing, right? But if you're doing anything with intention, if you're in a networking event that has 1,500 people, you're going to go get in front of 1,500 people, meaning what? High levels of intention of following different people, walking out like, oh my gosh, your shirt's so cool. Or, hey, I saw your booth from across the room. Like you're moving across the room. And so social media is the exact same thing. It's just sitting instead of moving. And so it's like, oh, how come people aren't seeing me? Well, you're standing in the corner of a networking event, or you locked yourself in the bathroom because you're afraid, because you know what? Or you're pep talking. Like, okay, well, at what point does the pep talk end? And do you walk out there and go like, hey, what's up? Let's be friends. Let's be friends. Let's be friends. Let's be friends. It's the exact same stuff, same gumption.
Doing that on Facebook would be the same thing you do on Instagram.
Yeah, basically,
Mhm.
whatever social media you're on, they all work the same. And think of the name. That's how I do things. So social media means being social, right? So they all want you to be social. So the more social you are and the more tools of theirs that you use, they're going to give you what Christy calls like brownie points or little, what do you call that? Bucket, the bank. You're getting some money in the bank. The piggy bank. Yes, yes. So think of that. Like, oh, every time I use a tool that Facebook has, they're going to give me some money in my piggy bank, you know, because they're proud of me.
Yeah.
Because I personally, when people follow me on Instagram, I look at their page before I'll accept to follow, like to go ahead and follow them. Just, you know, in this world, some things are
Yeah,
real interesting.
yeah,
So if we follow them, then we can just unfollow them periodically.
yeah. Well, and what we're going to talk about, we're going to get to Instagram too. We're going to finish up with Facebook just so I'm not like all ADD and all over the place. I actually have an outline.
Dang.
No, which is good for me because seriously, because usually I'm like, whoa, we're looking at our profile pictures. Okay, over to Snapchat, you know. Okay.
See how we do that.
So, all right. So
Okay.
Stephanie, we're gonna
So
do
we're
that.
going to talk about auditing your Facebook page. So pull up your Facebook page. This was actually really eye-opening to me. So first thing is we don't want to post our links in our Facebook posts or anything like that. No links, no flyers, anything like that, because they're salesy, right? Not only are they salesy, people scroll on by. I think Facebook basically is like she's trying to sell something, so they don't want so many people see your post. So that's a big one. And then the profile picture, like she said, Facebook is, they want to see your face. They want to see who you are, not your dog, not your flowers or anything like that. Those are all amazing, but your face and not with your private ear. I mean, I've done all that before. So one that I've actually, I changed it to I changed my profile picture to, I can figure it out here, view. So I took a picture of just that, and that was the next picture that blew up. I posted that, and so people can see like me.
That waist though, she's so skinny.
I seriously.
She knows it too.
Had a daughter who had this dress. I think we had that at Epic, like in the beginning. And so I'm like, I'm gonna straighten this. And so I posted it, and I was like, don't mind me sliding in this dress or whatever. And then I was just like, this is a little bit different, sorry. So I just posted that, but then I said, isn't it interesting how people, they'll see stuff and they'll get started and they won't give it a chance. Well, I made a post and like that in my profile picture like blew up, like, because I'm used to, like, we'll talk about that a little bit later about posting too many pictures, but just posting one People can see that I'm happy. People can see that I'm smiling. This picture literally drew a lot of people to my Facebook page. So
You had a hard time posting that, too. I can tell by the way you're talking.
I'm like, oh, people are like, oh my gosh, you're stunning and doing all these things. I'm like, okay.
So does that be for both of the pictures?
So no, the cover picture could be like, I had a picture of, the beach, or I had a picture, or a family picture on the beach, or a lot of times I'll just, I will post, like we were hiking in Zion National Park, so then I'll just post that. Doesn't have to be your face or something like that. Just like post your dogs or something that you're interested in, so people can see you and what you do and about you. Another thing right now, like, should never really post about politics, especially right now, because of, regardless of what you believe or what your stance is or whatever, like, you want to appeal to the masses. You want to be positive. You don't want, because if you're going to post one thing, you're going to offend somebody, and it's going to cause drama and cause a lot of chaos.
So I actually am a government official, so, and it's election year for me. I've been trying not to, and I've been a little flack from the rest of the people who are on the ticket. So how do I balance that? I don't want to really create another group.
Do they pay your bills?
They sure don't.
Cool.
There you
go.
Yeah.
There's your answer.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Like, do they pay your bills? No.
Their opinions don't matter.
Their opinions and their, like I've had people, a new promoter say, yeah, my dad was asking me because I'm actually posting a lot about Prove It, I'm doing my life. And I said, listen, does she pay your bills? Like, you want the lifestyle that she has? No. So you can either help her not see, you can make it so she doesn't see your post, or you can just keep posting, right? That's the way I look at it. But you can have specific people see your post if you like. And religion, another thing. I'm kind of on the fence with that. It's just how you do it. Like, I always post like a positive meme, or I'm always about posting a positive about my faith.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll post the scripture, or I'll post a positive statement, or belief in yourself or whatever. But I incorporate a scripture or incorporate my faith in that. Then I'm not out there saying, like, if you're
Turn or burn.
this or that, or if you're Bible thumper, or you're horrible because you're this religion or that religion, don't post that stuff, because it's going to cause chaos and negativity. And we're trying to bring hope, and we're trying to attract people. So that's what we're talking about. Stay away from negative things. Like, especially right now, we're giving people hope. We're giving people, like, people are drawn to us right now. And I really worked on this, especially the last year, 6 months to a year. I have people, like, I'm mind blown, because I'm like, really? I have people messaging me. I have people, like, putting posts out there, tagging me, saying, gosh, I love you. Like, you're so positive. Like, your smile, you're inspirational. Like, you give me hope. I can't wait to get up to see your post, because they help me get through the day. I'm like, hey, but when you build that every day, like, that's what people want. They don't want to have the social junk on there. I call it social junk. I just call it that. But the negativity, because it just draws people away. So just try to, be consistent with growing that. It takes time. Because I didn't really know that I was posting dark stuff before, but I had some people, family and some other people saying, oh, you're positive. Your posts have really gotten more inspirational, positive. You were dark before. But I go back and look at it, like, I really wasn't dark, but maybe I wasn't as positive.
You weren't peppy.
I wasn't as happy. I didn't have ketones then. What's up? No. So yeah, just keep it positive. And then
The first time someone told me off to the side, like, why are you putting your dirty laundry on Facebook? We get you're bitter and you want to get back, but all you're doing is putting people down. And I didn't see that until someone brought it to me, and I was like, you know what? Yeah, you're right.
well, and I always tell people, you can't really see the picture when you're in the frame. Like, Nick likes to, and I like it. He'll call me out and he'll pull things out, and I'm like, you're right. Like, we had a talk, and I thought it was doing specific things, and I thought it was doing that, but I couldn't see it because I was in the frame. But he was on the outside showing me, so we can work through it. And Christina the same. Like, I'll have her edit my posts. I'm like, okay, I've made some stuff. Can you edit my stuff? And so it's really helped me working with them to help clean things up and just make it better.
And you can like find someone on your team or whatever that you know, like I did that with Melissa this morning. I said, hey, will you know, can I read my outline to you? You know, and you just have to have the thing with that person before that I'm not gonna get offended, you know? Because it'll only help your business.
Yeah. And then you always just ask for permission, right, Michelle? Do I have permission to coach? Do I have permission?
Yes.
Ask for permission.
I always
Yeah.
tell people, are you open to feedback?
Yeah.
Yes.
And most of them are, but some people say they are, and maybe they're not,
Yeah.
but that's okay. So also make sure that your posts are public. That's one thing. A lot of times you don't know it. And sometimes Facebook, I found like a few months ago, they like just went back to like, why am I not getting, you know, stuff going, huh? Attention, attraction and all that. And it went back to that. So just make sure all of your posts and your settings are to public so most people, so everybody can see it. You get more people to see it. And then make sure that you don't puke on Facebook about prove it. Don't puke on prove
Don't make sure your wall doesn't look like prove it, you've done it.
Yes.
There you
We're
go.
not puking and prove it, but don't
Yeah.
don't like make it a billboard of prove it. Like we've all done that. Like in the beginning, we're excited. We just want to tell everybody about it. So just I've worked on that too. It's just sprinkling it in your life. And just because I'm walking on the beach doesn't mean I can't wear my swag and I can't have my shaker and take a picture of me walking on the beach. I didn't say ketones, but they see it. Like I wear swag all the time. Like, and I think that picture that I posted too was like people were like, wow, she has stuff other than swag. Like she wore a dress, like she actually has other clothes. So it just kind of changes things up that way too. So, and why do you create curiosity?
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
But I have a
So,
question
yeah.
on the wall thing. I remember Nick or Christina, one of them saying limit it to like 1 to 2 proof posts a week unless there's like a sale. But just load up your stories with prove it and intertwine, like if you're building a puzzle or you went to Costco and found something, you kind of like make it your daily story. So it's okay to load up your stories with prove it stuff because they disappear 24 hours.
Yeah.
So it's not like puking on your stories.
Yeah, but also there's a way of like, I don't know the word. Basically, you can put prove it stuff on there, but you can also put prove it stuff on there that is not directly like you're always talking about ketones. Like I said, I'm always wearing my swag. So that's sharing about ketones, but not sharing about ketones. I don't know what that word is.
Well, for instance, waking up.
Indirectly.
Waking up and like, oh my gosh, just slept so great, right? And now the other person that just slept crappily is going to see that and go,
How did you do that?
well, but you're not, but so there's that. And then it's whatever you're doing, right? Like whatever life is, but then mixing up ketones are like my secret weapon for a great night's sleep. And it's just in a shaker cup and it's pretty purple color. And then they're going to say, like the person that's interesting to what you're talking about, indirect advertising of sorts, but it's story sharing, right? Like your stories are just for sharing to see what your life looks like.
So is that like doing one of the, I see Melissa, she's like a pro, this is Jamie. They'll do a speed video.
Of mixing up ketones.
Shaking it and then
You can throw a little text on there and a little dance. It's just
not even a text. And then I'm even like, what flavor is she drinking? It was so fast I didn't see that.
I get messages now of like, what did you drink today? I didn't see you post.
I don't have the
And people
confidence
don't
to
even
do that,
drink
and I don't know
ketones.
why.
To do what?
I don't have the confidence to put myself in front of that camera and
Why
do one
not?
of those.
Then do it.
Yeah.
Like,
So then get a
We'll
ski
work on that
mask.
later.
Yeah.
We'll
Do you have
a
hyperlapse?
we'll have a little session in our room later. We'll do it.
That's what I use.
Well, we
It's
only
an
have
app
a
to
couple
speed up
more
the
minutes. I
videos.
need to like cut everybody off, but we're gonna, she put those together. One thing that, and I did this in the beginning, I went and posted like, a flyer and my link up in the comment, or not the comments, but up at the top, and somebody was like, oh my gosh, don't do that. And I thought, well, why not? If they want ketones, they just go to my link, And then they explained to me why you always want to just create curiosity on your wall is because one, Facebook wants to keep you on Facebook, okay? They don't want you going out to other sites. They don't want you going to YouTube or going to Vidal Sassoon Shampoo's website, So you want to just keep it right there on Facebook and stay there and use those tools. And the other thing about creating curiosity is that they may go to your link if you put it on there, or you're like, I'm drinking proven ketones every day, twice a day, and they're so amazing, and they come in this many flavors and blah, 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 blah. Then they may go look at your link, and then they're going to make their own decision, maybe based on price.
$8 a serving twice
Yeah.
a day. She must be rich.
Yes.
I can't do that.
And you haven't
Unfollow,
even,
unfriend,
yeah,
block, delete.
and you haven't even had a chance to talk to them about like, well, hey, we have a free product program, or hey, are you drinking Starbucks twice a day? Which is, I don't know how much Starbucks is now.
$6.23.
Okay, so that's $14 a day. You're drinking it twice a day, or maybe
I
you're
did a side
going
note.
out to eat 4 times a week. You know, you don't have any time to talk to them about anything. And
No connection,
just
no
in my
value.
own
There's no
life,
value.
when I used to see people posting about ketones and I wasn't with the company, I actually tried it because I didn't want it to work.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted, because I
Prove
was
them
still a little jealous. You know what I mean? Because they're all like
Happy.
happy. And, and I'm like, there's no way this stuff works. You know?
Is Lululemon like
liars,
part of our
you know?
what's it
Like,
called? The
liars.
uniform ward? Yeah.
So I was making my own decision, because honestly, they had put out too much info. And I was trying to find it on the internet, like, where can I get this trial pack from? And I remember I called one of my friends, and she was like, it's bad for your body to be in ketosis, you know, because she's thinking of the diabetic kind of ketosis, you know?
Ketosis.
Yes, yeah, keto,
Yeah.
thank you. See what I mean? Totally uneducated, right here. And so that's what's going to happen. So that's why you want to create curiosity versus just throwing it all out there and keeping on them.
So an example of create curiosity, because I know that I've heard you say that before, would be like, say, what are your favorite fruit flavors? That kind of a thing?
Well, even just like a sale, like True Passion was out yesterday. I think
Yeah.
it's still there today. I just put, OMG, my absolute favorite flavor is here today. Who needs details? And everybody's like, me. And customers will come. People are like, I've been watching her. What's this new flavor? You know, just something fun like that.
No photo, just an actual word.
No, I just said my absolute favorite flavor.
You know what I love about that? Because you didn't say what flavor it was.
No, I
so
didn't say
then
the
they're all
flavor.
like, oh, what
And
flavor is it? Oh my gosh, I gotta talk to her.
I put it on a purple background with no picture, no nothing. And so I just said, OMG.
Because
My
Facebook
absolute
likes
favorite
it
flavor.
making its own memes of sorts. Like when you put the background behind it, that's something
Oh,
that
you're talking
Facebook,
about when you go to a post.
like a
and that
text,
little-
yeah, where you can add like
I
a
see my
back,
comedian or whatever, your cartoon self.
yeah, scroll to the right. There's
Or
different
just
ones.
any of the color background.
Yeah, the
there.
heart, the stethoscope.
And so I not only was excited on that post, I didn't say prove it. I didn't say True Passion. I didn't say anything about it. I said I was excited. I said my absolute favorite flavor was there, and who wants details? So they want to know the flavor. They want to know what it is. They want to know I'm excited.
And then
And you
one
put that,
thing,
I'm sorry, and you put that on your wall and not in your stories?
I do both.
the other thing that's super important too is just making sure that you follow up, because that's a lot, and that you're consistent. So like Stephanie, with everybody that commented on her post, she's gonna reach out to them, give them the details, and then she may be busy today or whatever, but tomorrow she's probably gonna follow up with them and say, hey girl, do you wanna order? The sale's getting ready to end, or do you want a trial pack? That kind of thing. And sometimes if people don't answer you or whatever, just write their name down, however you track, you know, do what's best for you, but just have a really good follow-up system in place. And I'm going to give you an example. This girl had this face wash, okay? And it was on sale, and she's like, I go, oh, I need to buy some face wash. Well, my life got crazy busy, and it wasn't that I didn't need the face wash or I didn't like her. I just got distracted with all these other things that were more important than having good skin. So she sent me a follow-up message, and she's like, hey, Ashley, I don't mean to bother you, but I know that you were interested in this face wash. By the way, it's going off sale tomorrow. Did you still want it? She ended with a question, and then she asked me in a nice way, like she's doing me a favor. Hey, I wanted to follow up with you, girl, because your skin looks really bad. And you know, so you can do it. I thought of you. Yeah. So those types of things. And then last thing that we could go on Facebook, and this is kind of fun. Have you guys ever gotten where you posted something and then people share it?
Yes.
Okay. Another thing that you can do to show Facebook that you're friends, with each other is under here, like I posted this little quote thing and I had 27 shares of it. So I'll go click on right here where it says 27 shares. And then I will go to each person that shared and I'll say something,
Yeah, I've been doing that.
Yeah.
Found that from you. That's
Yeah,
really-
yeah. So then that's just another way to interact with people and show them that you're friends.
And it's important when they do that too, not to just like it, but just like, I usually love to say thank you, or because there is a amount that you have to say, right? In order for it to kind of count.
Yeah, you want to say, you want to probably say about 3 or 4 words or something.
I
maybe
mean,
throw
say
some
something
emojis
worth
in
saying.
there.
Don't just go over there and go woohoo.
Oh my God.
Like-
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
comment on it. Like, hey Bethany, I'm so glad that touched you. Like, hey
Yeah.
Beth, like Susie, like I love that you shared this. Like, it's super important to me. And then ask a question on there. Like we're conversation starters. Going
So
over
you
there
message
going,
them, so like a lot of my funny stuff gets shared.
yeah.
So then I would message you like, hey, I saw you shared my hilarious meme or whatever. I'm glad you think it's funny.
What's your favorite
It's
meme?
great to connect with someone with a sense of humor.
Yeah.
too.
What's your favorite meme?
Got it.
So
And
who's-
then go send memes back and forth, and then send a meme about fat loss in there and see what they say. You know?
So who here is on Instagram? Anybody? Okay. Have you heard of Instagram Reels?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a mini TikTok.
Okay, we're gonna do this real fast. So-
figure out where to find them. Like I add to it, but
This is
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. And
You
Mackenzie-
sound like me, I'm like,
I literally can't. Like,
I just heard about them and I'm like, what is that?
Mackenzie,
I just want to.
she is the Instagram guru in our family.
She a snack.
And so Reels is kind of like the TikTok of Instagram. But what's kind of cool about Reels is that everybody hasn't like caught on to it yet, So
Yeah. There's a reel.
Yeah.
I put my Instagram in here.
So I
There's
did a
I've seen.
reel the other day of avocado, I don't say this right, but avocado toast.
Oh,
Okay.
I
Yeah, I got 1,000 views like within an hour and a half or something. And then I did she posted, I put this manicotti lasagna thing where it was like supposed to be manicotti, but it went wrong and it turned into lasagna. And she was like, oh, manicotti gone wrong or something. And same thing, got 1,000 views like right away.
You know what, I just
So-
noticed, the person you follow and comment on the most is the first person that a reel that'll show up.
Oh,
It's you.
cool. Oh, cool.
So where do
So
we go?
Kenzie's gonna tell you real quick about reels and how to do your own little reel. Okay?
So, you're gonna go ahead and go up here, so just like whenever you're posting a normal story. And the other thing that a lot of people haven't called with Reels yet is that you can post your own videos. So like, it's just like TikTok in that sense, that you can get on there, copy and paste things together, kind of curate this whole thing. The other cool thing is it's not going anywhere. Like Instagram's not
Oh,
going
is it
anywhere.
the same?
You know, so there's a lot of security with it.
So
Anyway,
just
so we're gonna
15
go over, like I
seconds,
said,
pretty
into
much
that
the same.
corner.
Oh,
And you're gonna go ahead and
Have you
click on
done
that.
that?
And then
couple.
from there, it's gonna say live story.
To get
and
action.
reels. You're gonna pan over to where it
I've been
says
serious
reels. And so from here, it's just like TikTok where you can either start shooting your own content and then you see how this little pause bar at the top. You wanna add another clip, you can do that. There's sound, like all the same things, effects. It's actually a little bit more user friendly too, I think. And the other cool thing, so, I can do all that. You can also go in and add in your own videos. So like, say I wanted to go ahead and make a video about, Breckenridge and like our trip here. I can put this one in there and it would save it onto that left side. I could go again and I could put in this little photo of us having drinks and put that in there. And then this one of our lunch yesterday. And then I just add a little song to it or do Dreams by Fleetwood Mac. And you literally just from there, so all your photos are going to be over here. And you can literally just click there and it puts them all together. And then you have this little video with sound that you can add your words to, just like TikTok.
So you can add, you don't have to just do a clip,
You can add
Videos.
videos.
Yes.
You can add
Yeah.
videos. It's essentially TikTok. It's just a lot more user friendly.
And there's already 2 billion people on.
Yeah. Which
Yeah.
is cool. You know,
On
there's already-
Instagram, yeah.
And,
Yeah.
I mean, like it's like I said, for her, she has just been posting on her. Another thing that is your reels. They go into this whole folder on your page as well, so it's all
Do they?
organized. And what I do is I keep the reel on her grid for like a day, but then to make sure that the feed still looks pretty and curated, we go ahead and we just go here and we remove it from profile grid, and at the end of the day, so
Oh,
that
yeah.
then the feed's still looking curated, but the reel is going over into the reel
The reel folder,
category right
Where's
here.
that?
So it goes to your
Oh, man.
profile page.
It can. So there's a little
Do this.
switch that you can click that goes, it'll say post to profile grid. If you have it set on post to profile grid, it's gonna post just on your normal Instagram feed. But if you have it set to not post to your profile grid, it's gonna go ahead and go over here into your Reels folder. It'll go there automatically, but it just won't be seen
Oh,
on your
I see.
profile grid. But what I do to get it more views is I'll keep it on the profile grid for 24 hours. But you know, this cover of this anchovy isn't the prettiest thing for my curating for my feed, right? And so at the end of the day, today I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna just remove from profile grid. But it's people still have access to
So
it.
that's where you would, like, you have the little dots. Go there, like if you wanted to
Yes.
make a change on your
Yes.
actual.
So like say I wanted to delete this post, I would go here, right? But it's, so for reels, I'm clicking on the reel, it's just those 3 little dots. Yep.
So is that where you would go then if you wanted to see who has viewed it and comments and stuff?
Yeah, so it's all gonna be under there. And like I said, like you can turn off commenting.
Okay.
When you're watching your reels, it gives you like your likes on here. This one that we posted this morning has 103 plays from this morning, and then it shows the 2 people that liked it. You can also go over to your reel folder or your feed, like Carrie said.
Where's the
And
real folder at?
it's gonna be, so here's your profile grid. You have
On your profile, you'll see like the little grid, looks like a tic-tac-toe board. Then the next one is a little and action little thingy from like Hollywood with a play symbol in it. The next one is the IGTV, which is for longer videos. And then the other one is the things you're tagged in. So that's on your profile. And you touch a little picture of yourself in the bottom corner.
Some words on it. You can add some gifs.
You don't have it
And then
So-
then I just.
in your phone.
Like, do you want to utilize hashtags on doing that too?
Yeah,
The same thing?
Instagram's all about the hashtags. Yeah, and so I mean, it's, you don't want to go hashtag crazy because you don't want to look like you're like trying to get your feet out there. Instagram's all about being casual, but like having a purpose, if that makes sense.
So like when you're posting it, 'cause I mean, I'm pretty sure I did that, but I don't know. Do you just
But what I was saying was back to watching your views. If you go under reels, like this one about the manicotti mess up that she posted
find it?
yesterday, you just press the little heart on the bottom, it shows that it had 1,000 plays.
Oh, because you don't have
And then
any
it shows all
posted.
the
That's why you
people
can't
that
see
liked
them.
it as well.
I know, that's what I'm saying,
so
'cause I've
then
never
you can
used
go
it.
and
Yeah.
follow
So,
whoever is
Yeah,
not?
you can
Good.
go- yeah,
Okay,
you can
just
go-
do something
and
real
it's a great
quick and
way
then
to
put
build
it on.
your following.
So it's just gonna be,
So I can share it on my.
we'll
feeds.
put the little plus here is the
Yeah.
easiest way, I
Yeah.
think,
Yeah.
in real.
So you just
Okay.
hit share there,
And then
you'll
we'll
just
touch here to find the
once you share
video.
it, it'll let you go back
Okay,
over
it's
there.
my granddaughter.
Oh, it's right there.
Can you do this?
So we don't want to post her doing that because people get weird.
I know, don't.
We're just gonna do an example. Like we'll use this one,
Okay, that's my mom.
because you already made it on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna go check mark. It's gonna put that video in there. We're gonna go over. So it's all ready to go.
Oh, no, it's not loading.
And then
Oh,
we're
it's
gonna,
it's loaded. Oh,
this is your grandma,
My mom,
your mom, celebrating what?
85.
Yes. It's still sharing. But once it shares, you should be able to do. similar
So there, I
like
just added text like mom celebrating 85 years young. And then we'll say, like mama's girl, right?
Mhm.
Because that's a good hashtag for that, birthday.
So can we
Birthday
review
girl.
it before we?
Yeah. So, like I just showed
Before,
her too. So once the reel posts to your feed, right, if you want to share it to your
We'll
story.
just do those three just
Okay,
You're
for
going to
yeah,
click on
example,
the reel,
and then we're gonna
and then
go
you're going
share.
to click on those three little dots. You always want to look for those three little dots or this little envelope that's like the send, like the sharing.
The arrow coming out
The
of
arrow
it,
coming
yeah.
out. And so you're going to press the arrow coming out and you can add it to your story right there. So not only now do you have it posted on your reels where it's a feed that
Is it
people are
being
looking at, just
retarded?
like TikTok, you also have it posted on your story so your followers are seeing it as well. And if you add a hashtag on there, then that story is going to go under the hashtag on Instagram. So if somebody types in
I have to clean this
keto,
off.
then all these stories that are keto are going to pop up, right?
Yeah.
Including your reel
Part
and
of it.
your story that you just posted about your reel. So you're getting like this much outreach instead of just this little narrow window.
How do we delete something
Yeah,
that
you have so much
got
space open.
created? Just delete part of it.
See,
Um,
you have a,
Why does
I
it,
just
but
started one.
the-
Something that's
Goog-
important, something that's really important to remember, and I was actually gonna ask Melissa to kind of talk about this real quick,
like,
is,
more?
no matter what
More?
social media platform you're using, consistency. So
yeah,
give your speech on consistency real fast. It's always good, I love it. That's her favorite word.
Yeah, no, I think it's easy to, like, when you have busy times in your life, you like to change changes. I'm a mom of 3, and so when I had my 3rd baby, I kind of took a step away from my social media, and I wasn't as consistent with it. And you can see kind of drops in your activity level when that happens. And so it just comes down to every single day sharing who you are. Even if what you think you're doing doesn't seem interesting, people are interested. That's why, you know, like reality TV and things like that are so popular, is because people just want to see your real life. They just want to see not only the highlights, but also like the struggles that you have too. They want to see who you are. And I think I've heard from so many leaders who have proven in that fight as well. Like, you know, people don't want to join you in a business. They don't want to buy what you're selling unless they care about who you are, you know, unless they trust who you are. And so I think when you put yourself out there consistently every day, sharing your life and what matters to you, then people are a lot more likely to go, you know what, I care about that person. I've seen her post about her kids and this and that, and you know, I want to jump in and try
it
it.
posted
Let's be working.
800 times.
So I think being consistent every single day with that is so important. It's when you kind of back off and you're not consistent and people go, well, maybe it's not working more, or maybe it's, you know, and so it's just that consistency is so important.
And Jen, I have a question. So I've gone on yours, I've watched, well, how many times do you post a day so that people aren't like, oh, there's and again.
Yeah, you know, and at the end of the day, I think like
Like
some
every time I
people,
clicked it,
um,
posted it.
some
but
people
it
are
didn't
just
give us
social media
confirmation.
consumers. Like they just
So every time
want
I
to
clicked
look
it,
and watch. They don't even like the
Something
photos and stuff. And then some people want to be social media creators. And I think we have an amazing opportunity with what we're doing to create content. And you can use your social media to, the reason they do that chart is because you can use your social media to pique curiosity, but also to inspire people, to educate people, to help people dream bigger. And so by you sharing, you doing that regularly, multiple times a day, you're going to inspire many people as well that they can step out of their comfort zone. So for me, the way I use mine, like they were saying, I typically use my Facebook wall almost as more of like my bigger stuff. So I post at least on my Facebook wall once a day, minimum. Sometimes twice a day, 3 times a day, just depends. But at least once a day, and every couple of days, I make sure it is something that has to improve it. But my stories, I probably put I try to go 2 to 5 tiles in my stories every single day. And at least one of those have to do with shaking up my ketones. Maybe it's just a time lapse. My hair on the side of my head. I just woke up and I'm tired. And I shake it up real quick, ready for my mom energy, ready for my mom feel. And then my other tiles might just be about personal things throughout the day. But I use my tiles to kind of tell my daily life, like my daily story, my stories. And then I use my Facebook
It's
as
like a
kind of
little
like,
lines at the
almost
top.
like if you think like a blog. Like if you were writing a personal blog
Every
about
time you
yourself,
post one, it adds
how do
more.
you want people to see who you
So
are?
there's only
That's
one,
how I
it's
use
just one
my
long
Facebook
one.
Yeah.
There's 2.
And
It's
the
like
stories are
a-
like my daily,
three.
you know, going to the hospital, and I guess
That's
you're
a-
crazy
that's a
or whatever,
dog
just so they
gets 50
can
of those
see
on
who I
one
am,
thing.
you know, rather than just the highlight.
One thing,
And who wrote it?
one thing just really quickly on stories, like one thing I sometimes would just get really post everything, like I have a ton of tiles. One thing that Christina taught me is to post like every 2 or 3 hours. That way it puts it to the front of the line.
Okay.
And so, because if you just don't like, if you do a bunch of them and then you don't do any for like 4 or 5 hours, like it gets lost. And so if you do it every 2 hours or so, it just puts it to the front of the line every time so people can see it more.
And the same thing is true about stories. That's true with Facebook posting.
Yeah.
You're warming your feed and you're commenting on people's posts. It's also really important to comment on people's stories. And your stories are going to be shown to more people because it's showing, oh, she's interacting, she's building relationships. It's going to make your stories more popular and put them at the front of the line so people see them. I know when I'm more active commenting on stories, I get way more views.
Yeah. Because it goes, oh, you care about that story? Facebook will go, well, I think these 4 people need to see your stuff too. So it's just doing it for the sake of doing it, not for like let me work around this.
More commenting on my wall, but I've noticed my Facebook story, like I'm getting like a ton of engagement on there. I was like,
Yeah, I go through there and send laugh emojis or like, oh my God,
But
girl,
I
you're
don't
stupid,
comment
or just like,
a lot on this story.
but you just click through, find one in the middle, comment on it, swipe right to the next one, and then go comment on it and just like hammer stories.
I learned the hard way. My biggest fear about going live or posting a photo of myself is I had to be put together. They don't want to see you put together.
Girl, I
They
rock
want
this
to see
calic.
what you look like when
This
you wake up
calic
in the
all
morning
day.
without a filter. They
Like,
want to see
Oh, you should see
how
me.
your life
Like I'm
goes
like,
through this
I'm like,
too.
I'm in a bundle.
Yeah, all of a sudden, I have all these things. So that was a hard thing for me to accept because I didn't want to be judged. And then I thought, you know what? Their opinion of me doesn't matter. So this is me, and this is how I'm going to trick. So I got to step right.
One of the things I was yeah, Cindy. I was talking to Kinsey about it because she was talking about being nervous about sharing about Prove It and about ketones and not wanting her friends that are in other walks of her life to think that that's all she cares about when there's other things she cares about. And it's the same thing. If you're drinking ketones every single day, it's a huge part of your life. So why not throw that, you shaking up in your story every single day because it's a huge part of who you are. And so just not being afraid of it being in there consistently because that shows people how powerful it is and why it matters.
Well, and Melissa, something Melissa and I talked about recently because, you know that saying, don't mess up good for perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what I'm going to say. Melissa, I just love her. Like, but she could, anything she does, it always ends up awesome, but she's her worst critic, So she went live with her kids, okay? I swear to you, it was the best video I've ever seen. Like she's talking about ketones and all this, and then the baby's pulling off her ball cap.
It was like the perfect
I
chaos.
laughed so hard, and after I got off, I thought, she's like, oh my gosh, that's so awful.
She's like,
I'm like, no, that was absolutely perfect.
That's real. That's
What
real.
you're doing is you're
Extensions
showing
every day
all
being
the
pulled out by
moms
3-year-olds.
out there that they can do this too, and that they don't have to be perfect. They just can share something that they love and integrate it into their real life. You don't have to make sure you've got all your makeup on and that you're color coordinated and just go be you,
It ended up being funny. It was in our customer group, and I was actually doing the live to talk about promoting, to talk about sharing the business. That's a mom, and I was like, you can do it. And I had
It totally works. Everything's fine.
My sister walked in with my baby and said, Mommy, no one's downstairs watching the baby. Like in the middle of the live. Yeah, you think you're a really great mom working people. But it was funny. My mom had like walked out of the room, and I was like, you're fine, honey. And she threw the baby on me, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm gonna finish this live holding the baby. And so I'm holding it, and it was a mess.
And this
I was
6-year-old like,
distracted.
what are you doing?
What are you doing? But it was cute. It ended up working out because my
It's
whole
like-
point in the video was you can share this, you can build a business and be a mom and have a kid. Kids
See, I
crawling
would
all
relate to
over
that.
you. But I was stressed during the video. But afterwards, so yes, don't mess up good for perfect. And I'm like,
Well, it's a good reminder,
yes,
Music. Would it already have music on it inside the app?
Outside of my comfort zone of
Freaking
what I
blocked
was
my
going to
video.
do on my story.
It's weird.
So like I want to say, and me swinging a golf club, which I haven't swung a golf club in a while, but actually hitting it, but also somehow placing a keto shaker in there. They're like, how did you do that? My focus is on point right now. And it is a conscious. So I'm like, that's out of my wheelhouse or out of my comfort zone. I just want to do something that I would normally do because my son-in-law says, Mom, when I drink my keto up, I can make it to the 18th hole and I'm still focused and I'm not gassed out. I'm like, could you just post that for me? Just
And
can
if
you
you
do
can't
my
be able to
advertising?
get a message, you could post the message.
True.
So, all right, y'all. Well, we're gonna wrap up the Zoom here. Thank you so much for joining us. We have one more coming up here shortly. What, at 11:30, I think it is, or whatever next time. And I'll see you at the next little chateau mansion. We'll plug in over there. And if anything, we're gonna have this video, download it, upload it to YouTube, post it in the Better Starts Here group. And if you have any questions or comments for any of the presenters or what you've learned here today, we welcome them. So we'll see you in the comments, and we'll see you here shortly. Have a great afternoon.